Hello, fringers. The following podcast may not be suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Look alive, fringers.
It's 2099 and we are live and loud in the underground. From the streets to the scar. Keep your chip hidden, your gun loaded, and never trade your soul for souls.
Turn it up and let them know.
Big Brother is watching. Time to put on a show.
Hello, fringers. Howdy, Maitlands and Dietzes. Welcome to episode 7 of Identico, of Neon Trails, an Identico actual play. I can't read my own copy that I wrote. It's going to be a great show. I'm your game runner, the Caleb G. It is spooky season. It is October. Let us say hello to our wonderful cast who can absolutely relax in a haunted house. First up, it's the ghost with the most, Mallo, playing Galen.
Well, hello and boo to you.
So scary. Content warning. Next, she herself is strange and unusual. It's Wild, playing B.
Into a haunted house, just make sure that you knock on the door frame 3 times to let the spirits know that you're coming in. Say hello, and then when you leave, you say goodbye and knock another 3 times and leave.
Education. Now you know. Very good. See, this is entertaining. This is a wonderful show. Next up, he'll eat anything you want him to eat. He'll swallow anything you want him to swallow. Come on down. He'll chew on a Pete, playing dog.
I had a question for you, but that's quite the introduction. I'll eat, slurp, drink, whatever.
Please,
wink,
please.
Wink.
Content warning. What was your question?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you said, what's up, Maters and Dietzes?
Yeah,
Am I
Maitlands and
Mater
Dietzes.
or Adidas?
I don't know. Which would you like to be?
I don't know.
I feel like my opening jokes are funny only to me. So
no, the Beetlejuice puns are great.
Thank you.
And I live for them. Thank you so much for doing that.
You're welcome.
They only have to be funny to you for
Is
what
that
it's
a
worth. You're the
Beetlejuice?
GM.
It was the Maitlands were the dead people, and the Dietzes were the ones that moved in with Lydia.
It appears we need more education.
I'm so sorry.
Beetlejuice.
But speaking of which, let's turn on that juice and see what shakes loose with Lauren playing Drall.
Hi, yes. It's October.
It's
and
the
you made
best.
Beetlejuice references. So
It's one of my favorites. It's such a good movie. It's my favorite. And halfway to heaven, halfway to hell, Ethan playing Mox.
Well, since someone already stole saying Beetlejuice 3 times, Candyman. Candyman. Infinitely scarier.
Not as charming.
I'm looking for bees, but there's no bees. We're okay.
Have you heard that
Not the
voice?
bees!
Dude, that voice, his voice is liquid sex. I don't care what you say.
Well, speaking of that, let's go to our usual housekeeping. We are live here on Identico every Tuesday, twitch.tv/Identico, alternating games of Chaos Incorporated and Neon Trails, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. You can see episode archives, how to play video series, and probably other stuff at some point over at youtube.com/Identico. Subscribe, leave us some comments, tell us your favorite Halloween horror movie, Beetlejuice reference, sexy voice, whatever you want. Just interact with us, please. You can also interact with us on social media. Look for us at Identico or at Humanoid Games on the social platform of your choice. Swing over to playidentico.com to get the basic core rules for free. Pick up the beautiful book. Pick up the latest adventure, The Good Doctor, the GM screen, stickers, merch, other stuff. If you're live with us right now, spend those channel points to give the gang some re-rolls. We will probably be needing them tonight, depending on how things go. And check out our show affiliate, Greenleaf Geek, for some really cool dice that we all love. Mallo, any other announcements, housekeeping, anything else we need to give people the lowdown on?
That's all.
All right. Well, then let's jump in the Wayback Machine and figure out what happened last time. The crew inspected the Winnebago, finding trackers, a signal transponder, and a map of Dust Jockey territory. The trackers were pulled, but the transponder is left alone when Galen figured out it serves to protect the Winnebago from the kids, the DJs who patrol the desert surface. Drall finds a secret door and enters with Dog and Bee. There they find 2 large garages of full custom war vehicles and tankers carrying an unknown substance. They leave the DJ facility without problem, take a break in the desert to remove some audio bugs, and place her tracker in a small mutant rodent, then return to Solace. In Solace, they view Drall's video of the mysterious vehicles and debate what to do next. All they can figure out for now is to go with events carefully and see what happens. Everyone returns to their respective homes and tries to relax from the stress of the day. As Drall is dozing off, she hears the sound of her reputation rank on the job board dropping from a failed job. And with that sad note, we will pick up the game. I think maybe after a few fitful hours of sleep, Drall wakes back up and tell us what happens.
I gotta get a cigarette or plummeted. Fucking plummeted. No one's gonna take me seriously anymore. Do we have to pay if that? Fuck. Gotta find out where I really stand. Figure out what the fuck's going on out there. Can't whine too much. I made this choice.
Just a quick character question at the moment. Is Drall listening to My Chemical Romance in the background?
Shh, you don't know me.
It's not a phase, that's
No,
for sure.
Never a phase, Mom.
No.
It's clearly Hurt, either the 9 Inch Nails or Johnny Cash version.
Oh, it's
one
the
of those.
Johnny Cash version.
Oh,
It better
God,
be.
yeah.
I'm a Nin fan, so I have to do it. OG.
I mean,
It's amazing. Don't. All right, never mind. Mox will talk about this in character.
somewhere across Solace, Argos is just playing 9 Inch Nails. Came on automatically. Don't know how it happened. So Drall, it's very early morning or late night, depending on how you count it. And you see this, and you're in your feels about it. What are we gonna do?
Gonna do the only thing we know how to do. That is to bury it deep, deep, deep inside, behind a wall that no one else is allowed to get into, and hope I can repress it long enough for it to become trauma. So I'm gonna just go forth and start my day like I always do. Gonna look up what they're throwing out news-wise at the metros. I like to keep myself apprised to the brainwashing. And guess I'm gonna try to figure out a more detailed account of my standing. Damn it.
So you flip on various news channels. Corporate stuff in the metroplexes is pretty bog standard. Nothing wild happening. There are some news reports out of Angel City discussing some of the rebuilding efforts being done in the wake of the Benevolent Tower tragedy, and how these poor individuals who relied on Benevolent and the corporate infrastructure are struggling now in wake of this local terrorism to go about their day. But with the support of Benevolent, they will rebuild and become stronger. International news shows everything pretty much like it is, typical 5 second to midnight kind of doom scrolling. Some interesting news reports of the mining happening out in space. Nothing you haven't seen before, but there's a little bit about some tragedies on a space station, something crashed into something else and everybody died. But that's normal for space mining. So
Not my pay grade.
exactly, nothing jumps out at you as different than the normal state of the world. When you finally have it under control a bit and can swing over to look at kind of what really happened with your rating and your ranking for your jobs here in Solace, you see that it's not as bad as you thought. You basically dropped a tier. So think of this as like a 10-tier system. And within the tier, there might be like 5 levels. So like you can see how you're climbing the ranking. So it's not just like a 5-star Uber rating. You've got 10 tiers and you can kind of be halfway up or wherever you are in these different ratings. You were floating in like the low 8s. And you are now a high 6. So it dropped down. It didn't kill you. It didn't destroy everything. But it definitely pulled you out of the running for some of the jobs you had previously enjoyed, which had a lot more flexibility and a lot higher pay.
No, and just normal.
Yeah, you're not starting over from scratch, but this is where a lot of the above average but not elite people exist. So there's a lot more competition. You had really set yourself apart from the rest of Solace and other people outside of Solace that use this board. So you'd earned pretty high reputation and ranking, and now you're ahead of the middle of the pack, but still kind of shoulder to shoulder with a lot of people.
Okay, so upon seeing this, Drall will change from My Chemical Romance to the used. So we're not out of the dark yet, but feeling a little better, a little more hopeful. And so she puts her elbows on her knees and she takes off her sunglasses and pulls back her hoodie, runs her fingers through her hair. Big deep breath. Honestly, punishment was worth the crime. Probably made out better on this end than on the other. Whatever. I'll get up high enough. Just gonna be scrounging the bottom for a minute.
Now, one of the things about this job board, you can look at the details of your previous jobs and you can see feedback from the client. And having worked your way up the ranks before, you know that if there is a problem, a failure, a complaint, you can kind of click into that feedback, dig into it, read it, review it. There is an appeal process.
I'll just think about it, girl. I ain't gonna do it. She knows that there's an appeal process, and she even goes into the details and kind of skims and then closes it down and sets the glow beside her. Enough. enough. It's not going to help. You're already in this deep. You pursue it anymore, you and your friends' asses are going to be on the line. Just fucking suck it up, Buttercup.
So with that mental resolve in place, you go about the rest of your morning routine and maybe head off into Solace to get some breakfast.
Oh, for sure. I'm going to need a bagel.
All right. As you head off into Solace, I think maybe the camera pans away from the very early dawn of Solace, where there's still some revelry from the night before. There's still a lot of merchants kind of cleaning up a lot of the people that were selling food and drinks and a variety of substances for the nightlife. We're kind of cleaning up and winding down, and some of the breakfast merchants are setting up their shops for the day. It's very quiet, but it's busy. So the camera can kind of pan across that for a little bit. And maybe we find our way over to Galen, who's in the Winnebago. And I think Galen is sleeping a little fitfully, coming in and out of some very rough dreams that blur a little bit of reality and a little bit of memory and a little bit of that fantasy world that dreams live in. What's going on in Galen's sleepy brain right now?
Galen has flashbacks to a lot of different things that are happening all at once. Seeing the tower fall, then flashing into a fight with a rove in a hallway, seeing a lot of people die around him and getting for cover. And then it's flashing, the last sort of thing that he's seeing in that particular piece is a human on fire, but not running on fire, just on fire. And
just
then,
dealing with it, just standing there.
Almost as if they wanted to be on fire. And then he would wake up at that.
So I think Galen does that very typical coming out of a dream kind of jolt awake where it felt very real. And then as the reality of the Winnebago kind of settles in with that comfort, he's a little bit unsure for a moment which one is the dream. Like he was just there in the heat of the moment in the benevolent tower. Is the Winnebago the dream? Is he disassociating and thinking something as he's in the middle of this firefight? Did he get hurt? Is he in a coma? Wait, no. And he bounces back and forth for a second, but then that breath kind of settles. You realize you're awake. You feel the sheets. You smell the Winnebago. That kind of settles in, helps you remember. Okay, this is now. That was then.
And he kind of takes the hand off his pistol at that point, realizing that it's still sitting there, kind of always laying next to him. And he'll just sort of kind of like relax, like, okay. And just kind of like do one of those sort of things, and then just kind of like plop back onto the sheets and onto the pillow for a bit, and just kind of stare up at the top of this Winnebago that's kind of rusty and dead and just kind of dirty, and just kind of like sit there and like it's not like a hangover. Like, he wasn't like drunk and things like that from the night before, but like, you almost have to steel yourself to be like, okay, I've got to go do this for a day now. I've got to go be a human again. You know, I've got to get up out of this bed and things like that. And he's going to just kind of stare there for a few before he eventually does get out of bed and starts to kind of like get his day going and stuff like that.
And as you're going through your routine, it's a normal routine. It feels normal. But then after a few minutes, you're getting dressed, you're finding that shirt that is just the right amount of not too dirty to wear. You grab a cup of coffee, knock a cigarette butt out of it, pour something stale out of the coffee machine into it, kind of shuffle back and forth, kicking some stuff around. You suddenly realize that you've been maneuvering yourself to avoid your nightstand in your eye line. Mm-hmm. Because on your nightstand is a picture of your family. And kind of unconsciously, as you came out of this odd, traumatic flashback, your brain just didn't want to also add that stress to the moment. But as you're getting settled, your eyes fall on that picture.
And the kid in it is very young, like maybe 1.5, 2. And the woman in it has got dark curly hair, tan complexion, and Galen is clearly in a corp security uniform when you look at it, and everybody's smiling, everybody's excited. It's like taken like inside an apartment, almost around like holiday time almost, you know? So like there's some festive things and stuff going on in the background. It's very well lit and stuff like that, but it's clearly somebody snapped it at a party or something along those lines, like, you know, where everybody was together and stuff like that. And it's sort of taped together. It's not in like a perfect kind of like, you know, like the picture frame is kind of dirty and a little bit broken and stuff like that, because maybe it was grabbed and like quickly and sort of thrown, you know, through and stuff like that. And it's been in the Winnebago, so of course it's going to gather some dust and dirt and crud and things like that around it. But, you know, the middle of it's clear enough to make everything out.
And I think maybe Galen picks it up and looks at it for a second, kind of settles into his feelings for a minute, puts it down, goes through the rest of his morning routine, and then comes back, finds his way back to that picture again. And you're worried.
Yeah. I mean, it's he's going to pick up his glow at that point too and just start checking messages. Just sitting on the side of the bed, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He's in all black, you know, but no boots on and stuff like that yet. He's just going to pick up a glow and start kind of checking messages and things like that. He's gonna do through a secure subnet, and start looking for a specialized kind of dead drop that he's got, and he's gonna just start seeing if there's any messages there with it.
So you're scrolling through your messages, typical spam email, typical spam messages. You've got a couple contacts out in this bounty hunting world that you keep track of. You keep track of some of your friends. You keep tabs on some of your enemies. So there's some messages across the board ranging of like, oh, hey, I survived, or I took this killer job, or don't go here, and a list of coordinates. Shit got bad. And then a couple messages are like, hey, go fuck yourself. I just brought in 10 grand. Like things like that.
It's LinkedIn for bounty hunters.
It's LinkedIn for bounty hunters. There's that one really annoying person that's like posting super inspirational, get the hustle, get the
absolutely.
grind.
Yeah.
It's
You can do it today and bring in that bad guy. Like,
right. What's stopping you from bringing down the guy that's holed up with 3 Rovs and giant machine guns? Yourself. Just go do it.
Yep.
Grab the day. That
hashtag
kind of
get
thing.
those souls. Yeah, definitely.
Hashtag sling the lead. You sort through all that. It's normal. You're hesitating going to the kind of the secure net and the dead drop, but eventually you go in. There's a couple from some very trusted individuals where you're trading key information for the job. But then there is that one very specific ultra secure where you have set up a heavily coded, heavily encrypted line of communication with an old partner from the Force. And you click into it and you don't see anything right away. You see some of the old messages, of course. And you have a cadence here with this old individual, your old partner. And it's not abnormal to not see a message, but it's definitely around that time where you should be seeing a message. And so you're a little bit nervous. But then you realize it's loading. You're out here in the middle of nowhere. Obviously, there's some signal interference from Solace itself and some of the security measures in place.
That 7G's not hitting quite as well.
Right. But eventually it loads. And in this coded message, the overall indication is that everyone's fine.
Okay.
Details are scant, which hurts, but is necessary for the safety of your family. There is a mention that there was a small incident at school, but it was just childhood bullying that went a little bit too far, and one of the kids got suspended.
Got him.
But other than that, things are fine. Everyone's alive.
For the first time in a little while, Galen will reply in Latin, Dianasis gratis agaratibi. And then hit send.
And you know that the security of this subnet, there's not going to be an immediate response. But you send it off.
Yeah, it's not the way that he's got this working is it's like a physical dead drop every once in a while. You got to go look for it. Like, it's not going to alert anybody. It's not going to ping cell towers and things like that. Like, it's just there. Go fetch it.
Yeah, you have to physically go to a specific location in the city with the right encoding and decoding on your glow to even access this mailbox.
Yeah.
Galen can access it from where you are.
Right, but that's only because Galen's outside of the city. If he was inside the city, it would be same protocol.
He would have to do the same thing.
Yep. And he set that up very poignant, like very purposefully to do it that way.
And with that being done, you head out of the Winnebago. Bill's out there still snoring in his lawn chair, leg thrown up over one of the arms. No boots, no socks, just jean shorts.
Bill, I'm gonna make sure Bill's sleeping correctly.
Oh,
like he's just snoring. He's just snoring. Everything okay?
Bill has real bad sleep apnea.
Okay.
You can hear him.
Yeah. He's just gonna make sure that the cigarette is takes it out of his mouth and just sets it in the tray, so it doesn't, if it's still lit, it's not gonna fall and actually hurt himself.
Even though he's still asleep, he swipes at your hand and grabs it and brings it back for a drag.
It's like his pacifier.
It is. It really is. It's safety blanket.
Yeah. And then Galen's just gonna kind of like with trying not to like wake Bill and stuff like that. He's just gonna kind of like walk off into the city because he's gonna start trying to. He needs some breakfast. He needs some more coffee. He's running out of stuff in the Bago and stuff like that. So he's gonna start going around doing some rounds throughout the city and stuff like that.
Yeah. While that is happening, why don't we zip over to Dog's place? So Dog and Mox are waking up after whatever happened last night.
I will say, if I may, the previous night, as in the last 3 hours prior to Dog waking up, Mox did not really sleep, was sitting on the couch where he has been allowed to sleep, chain smoking, and occasionally pulling up and opening the hidden files with the passwords with the basic designs and layouts for his pride and joy in terms of Darkwave generator, and just sitting there looking at it and muttering, nothing. Argoth, ate again. And Dogs by Pink Floyd has just been on repeat all night, and Argos gives him a little. You're going to complain about me wanting to play a song called Dogs? Really? All right.
Robot Dog shrug. So, okay.
That's what he's been up to.
So, question about Argos. At this point in his design stage, does his face have that still like a typical dog face, or do you have a screen there where there's like an LED kind of display of a dog face?
Despite Mox's predilection for modifying himself, he actually has attempted to, in as much as possible, especially aesthetically, maintain the appearance of a real Doberman.
Okay. So there's no emojis playing across Argos's screen to communicate with you. Gotcha. All right. So, you've been working on that a little bit. Dog starts to wake up. It's after dawn, but not quite after dawn.
Yeah.
Morning. You know you talk in your sleep.
What did I say?
Honestly, I think I tried not to pay too much attention to it. I was worried, might be overhearing some devious plan of yours,
That's a shame. I'm very wise, even in my sleep.
Well, if I'm still here tomorrow, I'll make sure to get a journal for you. Write it all down.
That sounds great, man. Whatever.
You want some coffee? I mean, since it's yours.
Yeah. If you're fixing, I'll take some. Dog
Just goes up.
Go ahead.
Just goes about getting coffee and all that for you.
Thanks, babe. What's your name?
Oh, you. Max cocks an eyebrow.
Oh man, I love you, Max.
I'd be lying if I said I hadn't woken up and said someone's wrong name.
Just messing with you.
And as Mox pours or hands over the stained mug with the coffee over to Dog, there's this moment during that little exchange where Mox gets this quick look across his face, because this is the first time in a while he's had a community where that type of thing ever happened, like at least a decade. So just having that, there's kind of a moment where he just and then passes the mug over.
That's very sweet. That's out of well, yeah, maybe no. Yeah, Dogwood. That's very sweet.
So, what's the plan for today then, eh?
Well, almost a sec.
Excellent Foley work.
That's good. Cup of coffee. I don't know. Doesn't matter after what we saw. I mean, I moved out here to get away from that shit. And now they've just got an underground mega metroplex now. So, whatever. What do we? What do you think? What do we do? What we got going on?
Honestly, I don't know. I know that I met you all when I was trying to make a sale, trying to fund some further Oh, no, please. Continue. I'm fascinated.
I mean, I can hear you while I'm drinking.
I can't hear myself is the problem. Anyway, I was saying that when I met up with you all... Oh, I'm sorry. Is this too loud for you?
It's morning stretch. Keep them liggies loose. All right.
Anyway, I was trying to make some money, and now that got fuck-alled, and then we got hired for a job so that I could get more money to fund my research, and then that got fuck-alled. So I guess I'm no better off. In fact, I'm a little bit worse than I was.
From a lot of fuckling.
Lot of that going on around here. So I guess redo of the whole make money thing.
What's money matter, man?
Actually, quite a lot, actually. Parts aren't cheap. None of this that I'm trying to do here is cheap. Finding my own place wouldn't be cheap. I mean, if that's something I need to do either.
I mean, listen, I'm just telling you that Mercury, Venus, little penis over there in the fucking underground thing, like he's got this forest set up and all these military vehicles. He's just gonna take over. It's just gonna be Angel City all over again. Yeah, sure. Get on the ground floor. Get you a house. Get you some souls. I don't know.
You all right? You seem a little downtrodden. You're normally... I can't say I always understand what you say, but you usually say it with, a little bit of levity in your voice, and today you sound in the dumps.
I'd appreciate if you didn't, make fun of my house, but yeah.
And you do notice that Mox has actually straightened up just a touch.
Yeah, looks good in here. See, I keep a good house.
Chain smoking gives you that, manic energy sometimes.
Thanks for tightening up. Appreciate it. It's just, Dog's not, out of character. Shocker, Dog is not one for sharing his emotions or feelings normally, aside from anger and determination to get some item or whatever. But yeah, it's just like, man, like I don't know if you know this. I used to live in Angel City, and that was cool, but it really wasn't. It sucked. Metroplexes sucked. I moved out here to try to have this is like the one final place where it's like an actual meritocracy, but you get out what you put into it. That's fucking not the case there. Just work underneath benevolence thumb all day. Push the button. And now it's just happening all over again with some other different weird dude in a leotard
I
underground.
completely understand. I agree. I'm a fan of the plexes in theory, but unfortunately, so many of the corpse. In the last 110, 120 years, we've made such incredible advances, and yet so little of it has gone to actually make the lives of people better, only gone to make people's pockets swell more.
Yeah. Yeah. And not even in the impressive spot. Just
Well, I mean, you did say what good is money. I'll tell you, I've heard some stories. You can do that too.
I guess you got a point. So anyway, don't
You can
listen
have
to
a
me too
point
much.
if you want. It doesn't have to. I mean, it can be wherever you want. The sky's the limit with this type of thing.
Oh yeah. Well, so like, what are we gonna do, man? I don't know.
Well,
What do you think?
I hate this. It has been so long since I've relied on other people, and here I feel out of my depths.
Yeah. All right. I got
So
you.
maybe, I don't know, the Windy Bagel guy or the angry underground specialist person. Yeah, maybe they'll have some ideas.
They seem pretty cool. I'll tell you what, man. Bree's pretty reliable. I will say that. So give her a chance.
Oh, I have no doubt. I mean, she knows more about technology than any of the rest of you fuckers, and that's enough to get my respect.
Well, either. Let's. She's not
I
here.
say
You don't have to
fuckers
lay it
with
on
love.
that thick.
Oh, I
Come
didn't
on.
say more than me. Hold on. I didn't say more than me. I said more than you.
What part? Okay, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, sure. You think whatever you want to. As soon as I got a goddamn UFO flying in the air, you're gonna be thinking different.
And speaking of B, I think the camera can pull away here from this touching homemaker conversation. B, I think B also had a rough night. She went and visited Ferdy. Got some new clothes after burning the old ones. Super worried, super paranoid. Did go back to her place to rest. How did the night treat B?
Per usual, instead of resting because of the worry, B did not sleep. Instead, B is wrecking her house
Ooh.
with plans and drawings and schematics. B has at least 3 writing utensils in both ears and also kind of stuck in their hair. Very dark circles under their eyes. There's cans upon cans of energy drinks and sodas and instant coffee powder spilled across the floor. And she's muttering under her breath, "Oh no, that can't be right. We just need some more protection." And there's just more and more schematics, crimpling up some, and just super hyper focused on trying to make something to not only make to protect their house, but Ferdies and dogs and Dralls, and if Galen lets them, probably the Winnebago as well. And there's just, it's chaos. About as chaotic as their mind.
And after coming into this scene and observing for a few minutes, there is a soft knock on the door, which I don't think B hears right away. And then it gets a little louder and a little more forceful.
What? What? Come in! It's never locked!
And Ferdy walks in.
Oh, hey, Ferdy. Sorry.
And Ferdy is wearing very casual clothes for Ferdy. Very casual, comfortable, kind of athletic leisure wear, track pants, a snug tank top with a hoodie kind of jacket, jersey material over it. And they are carrying with them a little box, a takeout box with some really good coffee, really good, probably your favorite place in Solace, breakfast sandwich, couple pastries. And they walk in and they set it on the table and kind of lean back. And they look around. This is a lot.
Quick. He's going to sweep their arm off like the rest of the counter to give Ferdy somewhere to sit. I can explain. I can't explain. How are you? What's in the box? How can I help you?
Well, I figured from your state of mind last night that you would need some food. So I want you to eat this right now while I am watching you so that I know you are taken care of and you don't forget about it like all the other times you've done.
Okay. A little too well, I guess. He's gonna take food in both hands and just start talking over mouthfuls of food. Well, so, yeah, this is good. And the excitement you can tell, or Ferdy can tell, is kind of like not really excitement. It's more like anxious, manic, like I'm just trying to do this stuff so that Ferdy is happy kind of thing. I just know that we need protection. I can't again tell you what's going on, but I do think that we might need to find more salvage so that we can get all this stuff done.
Okay. I get it, but I don't know what this is. You haven't explained anything.
Protection. You see, there's some walls. We can put some security in your place and the Farbly. I got these, and hold up like sheafs of paper. I got these for the vehicles, and in that corner over there, the crumpled ones. Those were ideas, but I spilled some coffee on them. So if you have any other paper, I could make more of them.
But, okay.
Look at this turret. We could put it on your house.
Okay. Relax. Breathe.
Okay.
Breathe. Why? Why though? Why are you doing this? Why are you having these designs? What is going on that is making you have the need to do this? I need to understand.
Well, as you know, the waste is full of a lot of very scangerous, scary things. Scary, scangerous, dangerous things. And, we found a group that is basically like Corpo Light, from what I understand. I don't know any Corpos, but they really had that Corpo vibe, and we're a little too close for comfort. They took our shit. They bugged us, and they sent us back out here with a leash.
But you're alive.
Yeah, we're alive, but at what cost? They probably know where we live now.
And Ferdy kind of stretches and walks around the room a little bit. You know I've been out here for a while, right?
Yeah, you're one of the people that helped find me.
And I've told you the stories about where I was before this. You remember?
Yeah, you're a badass.
I know it's scary. I know this is kind of the first time you're experiencing this, and I get it. Here we're safe, and life is good and different. It's happy, it's joyful. We can do what we want. There's a great degree of freedom, and you've really been lucky
I know.
to have this. And I'm so glad that you didn't have to experience the worst part of this world in order to enjoy the best part of it that we have here.
Why I want to protect it.
I know.
You ever seen? It's an army, Ferdy.
I've dealt with armies. I've led armies. It doesn't change. There's always a leash. There's always someone holding it. There's always someone pulling. We are very lucky here in Solace to be able to have freedom and live the life we want to, but there's still people we're responsible to and that give us instructions and orders. Just because we're out here not under the corporate thumb doesn't mean we still don't have jobs. It's a different type of leash. It's a fence instead of a leash, but this is life. This is the way the world works. Let's take this one day at a time. This is not the end of the world. There's always someone coming up in the world thinking they can change it, thinking they can leave their mark on it. Who did you find? Who did you encounter? Is some gang out there that you ran across while you were doing your job? Some thugs, scavengers? What was it?
All of the above, plus some. They have 30. They have a secret facility underground. They have trees. They took our shit to make more trees. Who does that?
Well, I was okay with underground because so much of what we do is underground. Half of Solace is underground.
That's fine.
The trees?
They have real cheese.
What kind of cheese?
Really good cheese. And grapes. Have you ever seen a grape before? I only ever read about them.
All right. Okay.
There's cameras everywhere. They wear boring clothes.
Okay. All right. Let's figure this out together. Okay. We're gonna do this together. And at this point, Ferdy is standing above you, not like overpowering you, but more protecting you. It's that very close, I'm here with you, I'm supporting you. I think they are kind of in front of you and they pick up your hands at this point and they're holding both of your hands in their hands. This is not something you have to deal with alone. You have your friends that you work with, you have me, you have your family here in Solace. All of these ideas are amazing and I love them and we will use them. But we're going to think and discuss and figure things out first so that we are not spinning our wheels and wasting our energy, so we can act efficiently and effectively and everyone can be safe. Okay?
Hey, Ferdy. Squeeze her hands. Do we call like a meeting? What do we do? Do we keep working for these people? Cause they are making us work for them. How do we do this?
Like I said, it's just one day at a time. We're all working for somebody else.
What are you working for? I thought you worked for yourself.
That's a story for another time.
Do they also have a secret facility?
No.
And an army?
Solace has a different type of army. Let's talk about really what happened. Let's tell the whole story. Let's start from the other day when you and Dog were in the bar, and we'll go from there. And we're going to fade out from that story and circle back to Drall. Drall is in a little breakfast spot. There is a natural cavern, and there's kind of like a food cart set up on one side and some stools and tables set up along the wall. And Drall has chosen a spot in the back corner with her back to the wall. So she's got great view of the other tables and the food stand. And walking up to the table, carrying two mismatched steaming mugs of coffee and not balancing, like a pinned under their arm, like a little kind of paper bag with some pastries in it, is the person that you came here to meet. And who is that person?
I don't actually know the name of this person. I just know what they go by online, and they go by the Paperboy. And I like to meet the Paperboy when I'm feeling pretty low. Because usually the Paperboy has odd jobs that can either help me create connections to other bigger jobs, can get me the information that I just don't have solid yet due to what they can do. I don't know how they do it, whether they hack, whether they know somebody, whether they're on the opposite side. I just know that I come to this person when I want clarity.
So the Paperboy sits down and he's wearing a hoodie, sits down with the coffee, sets down the pastry, throws the hood back. He's got a dark black knit cap on, takes a sip, rips off a piece of this kind of sweetbread, like a loaf of sweetbread, with some like real nice rich cream and some roasted nuts, and dips it in his coffee and takes a bite. So, what's up? Normally we just talk online. Why are we here? I mean, I like the food, but
I didn't really want to say what I gotta say, where I could be traced or hacked or anything like that. So appreciate you meeting me. Can I have one of those? Can I?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And he was about to put a piece in his mouth, and he's like, "You want this one?"
Yes, I very much do. You were gonna eat them all and not offer me any? Rude.
This is why we meet online. I don't have to share. Jeez.
Sharing's not always bad. I mean, most of the time. So, but
Okay.
anyway, what I want to talk to you about.
Yes. What do you want to talk to me about in one of the most secure facilities in the world? Solace. No one's going to listen to us ever.
Are you like trying to psych me out so I don't tell you? What's your aim here, buddy guy?
You've lived here forever. You know that this is like information highway. There's always information being traded.
You're right.
That guy over there has like 15 glows on him that he's recording shit on. Hey, Tommy.
Yeah, what's up, Tommy? How's it, Ann? Good? That's good.
Tommy just gives you the nod. The nod.
The nod, yes.
Yeah.
Tommy's
All
nice.
right.
I like Tommy.
All right. What? Come on, lay it on me. What you got?
So she leans forward, like on her forearms, kind of getting as close as she can to the side of his head.
He scoots away a little bit because this is like way too personal space.
Come closer.
Oh my god.
Damn.
What?
What do you know about what the desk jockeys actually do?
They kill everybody and keep killing them?
I had to run in. Me and my crew had to run in.
Well,
and
good for you. You're alive.
Yeah, that's the weird part, and what we saw. And she's like being extra sure to like cover her mouth when she talks so her lips can't be read.
Mm-hmm.
She knows what she's doing. She could talk openly anywhere, and
oh yeah,
she's got no decorum, but she's got that going for her. So we got in. I can show you what we recorded.
Recorded a bunch of weirdos in the desert killing people that you escaped from. Like, I don't want to see weird torture porn. Not on a Tuesday.
More like a giant garden deep under the ground, robots controlled as well as crew controlled, and fucking giant barrels of bullshit that we don't even use anymore in a huge basement. Oh. Tickle. Including like fuel we don't even use anymore. Huge underground warehouses. You ever fucking heard about that?
Okay. Slow down. You're saying, I mean, there's always underground shit. There's a ton of shit out here that's buried from before, and the corpse take and dump out here that they don't want people to find. That's normal. There's always old fuel reserves, and most of them are dried up.
Not like this.
Have you been working too hard? Are you just losing it? What? This isn't like you.
My ranking went down over this job. And I had to tell somebody what I found.
Oh, okay.
We didn't have a choice. I took a job. And then they found us. And then like our courier was like attacked. And then we just had this thing. And Jenna had this thing. And Big Bad Daddy wanted it. So we gave it because how else were we going to get out? But we got safe passage through territory. We've got all these other great things, but like, I did not know that these boneheaded, dumbass, base motherfuckers had an underground garden and thousands of square feet of war cruisers equipped with.
Well, this is getting more and more interesting and more confusing. The more you say things, these words are weird.
Yeah, I don't feel great coming out either. So.
I don't feel like you're bullshitting me. I feel like this is real. You actually went and saw something weird. It's not just a video you saw or like a weird hallucination from being out in the desert too long. You weren't too near the scar and you got all jacked up.
So you're trying to write off my experience as a hallucination.
Because
When have I ever steered you wrong? Don't answer that.
that was like 5 without even thinking.
We could make it a round number if you want. And no, I'm just kidding, my dude. I am just saying, if you catch any information, if you know of anything, if corpos are moving toward jockey territory in any way, I mean, I'm sure they've got tunnels, I'm sure there's maps, I'm sure there's routes. If anything passes through the system that comes from some contact, screen name, zone that you don't trust, I want to know about it. Because I need to know what I'm working with here. What my friends are working with.
Okay. I mean, I've always got my ear on the grid for everything. You know that.
Yeah, but when are you going to get me my vinyls that I wanted? I asked for 2 vinyls, Florence and the Machine and Rush 2112, and you still haven't got a hold of those for me. It's been like 6 years.
My guy is working on it.
I'm sure it is. And she's gonna lean forward and take a drink of his coffee.
Rude.
Now it's got a little extra love. Thanks for
Okay.
listening unwillingly. You're such a great friend.
Okay, but for real, you're working with the DJs, but they're
No.
not.
Just not a hindrance to. We're neutral to them, maybe further leaning on the happy side than the sad face side. I could travel through the territory. I got extra maps on my glow. Like,
I mean, that's huge.
yeah.
Are you?
But I'm not doing jobs. I'm not doing jobs for them. I'm not aligned. Fuck that.
All right. Well, I'll figure out what I can figure out, but I guess stay safe.
It'll probably be fine, right? I mean,
Probably. What could go wrong? What could go wrong with a syndicate of deranged murderers?
it's probably fine.
Probably fine.
But put it in the ethos.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll see if I can make some sense out of all of this nonsense, and I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, if anybody comes to me and asks what we've talked about here, we didn't. Right?
Obviously.
Okay, sweet, awesome. Sorry, I'm a little more paranoid than usual. Just trying to get my info first before I get those happy comforts.
Yeah. Well, if I hear anything different, I'll tell you. But this is bonkers. So I have no idea.
You're the best one, bonkers, paperboy.
I'm putting this on your tab.
Wait, and as she backs away, wait, what's on my tab?
Don't worry about it.
And then she puts her hand, she turns, puts her hand up, and then puts her hand in her pocket. Like, imagine someone walking through like an alley where it's raining and it's got some cool lo-fi in the background. That's what's happening.
So let's fast forward a little bit. It is late afternoon. Everyone has a hat on.
Everybody's putting hats on. I gotta put a hat on. That's all I got right now.
Hey,
The group is getting together at the Winnebago for a little bit of fresh air. People have filtered in a little bit. I think I think Dog and Mox are probably the last to arrive. But Galen, you've got a fire going, little charcoal stove maybe.
Just like one of those little outdoor kind of things, you know?
Yeah, like a little hibachi grill, cooking up something. And everyone's getting together to figure out what y'all are going to do next.
Well, hello everyone. Isn't it wonderful to see your beautiful faces this morning? I'm glad none of you looks down in the dumps, paranoid or traumatized by our experience.
Galen is focused on the cooking, but does a behind the back throw of a pack of cigarettes to Mox.
Oh, bless your soul. And Mox just splits the pack open and divides it in half with B.
Thank you. B puts
What?
2 behind each ear, 1 in her mouth, and then 1 down in her shirt.
Galen, what are you cooking? Because it's not an Identico show if we're not talking about
We're not
someone cooking
cooking.
food.
Well,
You
it's gonna
smell
be
with the Galen.
it's a type of kebabs because we're not, we're getting some gamey kind of thing that's going on out here. But he went to the market, went shopping, stuff like that. He's got some beverages and things like that. He's trying to make it as cozy as possible. Easiest thing to pull together was some kebabs that he can put over the grill.
Sure.
And it's been a little while since he was able to get some of those materials and stuff like that. So you might have a tab now at the local grocer, but it's worth it to get a decent meal going. Maybe slightly inspired by the real food that we just tried to partake in at the DJ's place.
Yeah, so you've got probably some wild onions, some cactus. Definitely not meat that you're familiar with, but it's meat.
It's very gamey, but we've tenderized it and we've gotten a little bit of a baste going and stuff like that on it to kind of chill the gaminess in it,
Yeah.
Galen, Ferdy gave me some meat if you want some. It's not desert rat.
I mean, let's throw it on there and get going then.
All right.
So we get that on there.
I rolled a
As
nat
Galen is
20 on
cooking.
cooking, by the way, just now.
As Galen is cooking, Mox, through some deep-seated genetic requirement, steps up beside him and goes, You gonna flip that?
Oh, come on.
Yes. Galen gives a couple twirls of the tongs that are duct taped together, by the way. So these are it's got a spring in it. Like, they're not normally tongs, but he made them into tongs. And he kind of gives little pieces of
bring out
scrap
something
metal.
else.
Yeah. And does give it a flip,
Yeah, that's looking real good.
Yeah,
That's looking good.
Yeah, you know how we do. We know how we do.
Yeah. You've got some crusty bread. You've got maybe some kind of creamy dip. Just kind of, some stuff you picked up at the store.
He points over to a small red cooler. It's kind of painted. Well, yeah, and some definite burn marks on the outside. But he's like, "Hey, I went by Ferdy's. Beers in the chest."
So I think we can watch this meal take place over a little bit. Everyone is on edge, but it's starting to be sunset. We've got the lights of Solace, that warm neon lifting up from the canyon. We've got the sun starting to come down over the mesas in the desert, casting dark oranges, dark purples, dark blues. There is a degree of comfort here. Even with the light pollution from Solace, you can still see stars. Many of them are satellites. Many of them, are weaponized platforms. Some of them are definitely corporate-owned spy drones, but you can still see stars. And even with the stress, this is nice. The meal wraps up, and a little bit of a pregnant pause in the conversation, a lull. At some point, someone's got to bring up like next steps. So I think maybe everyone's waiting for someone else to do it.
Fuck it. This is we're 3 or 4 beers in at this point. Fuck it. We need cash. He looks over at Drall.
Yeah.
What you got for us?
I'm working on it. Give me a minute.
All right.
Fuck.
So, Drall, you pull up the message board on your Glow. And you're scrolling. There's a lot of garbage jobs that you just filter out. A lot of them are just not worth the time, not worth the money. You've got, some of the posters. This is shit work. You're not going to do shit work. Eventually, you sort through, and there's 3 jobs that seem promising. One of them is kind of a bounty hunting gig. There's a farmer a little bit further out in the wastes whose crops have been being eaten by some sort of mutant wild animal, and they're offering a bounty on the hides, the skulls that you can bring in of these creatures. Another one is an escort mission. There's a merchant here in Solace who is making a sales run out to a small little, barely can be called a town out in the middle of nowhere. And they've ordered some food and supplies. So there's a payday for escorting these merchants out there to drop it off. And another one is basically a protection gig, acting as bodyguards for a scientific expedition to dig into something underground. And they rattled off a couple things, but then kind of said, well, we can't go into more detail. It's kind of classified, but we're doing a scientific excavation into the history of the old world, and we just need protection. So you're looking at these 3 jobs, and they seem to be the most promising. And that's what you've got right now.
Okay. So, 3, count them, 3 options, gang. So we've got a taxidermy mission, a babysitting mission, or we got mystery underground bodyguard. What sounds like the right way to go?
I don't like taxes and babies.
Yeah, that's more like a bounty hunter for like a monster eating some farmer shit, like base level. That seems like entry level taxi baby whatever stuff. So that could be fun. I don't think there are babies or taxes involved.
Around for a long time.
What?
Said we've been underground for a long time.
Yep.
What's the relative pay for each of these gigs? Which pays the most?
This guy knows it. This guy
Thank
gets
you,
it.
babe.
Yeah, honey.
Galen breaks out the whiskey and passes it over to Mox.
I like it here.
So the protection gig for the excavation is offering the highest upfront paycheck, but they also do not have a confirmed end date of this job. They say it might be ongoing. It depends on how long the excavation continues. They offer room and board and then a potential secondary payday based on what they find. The escort mission has the lowest pay, but it is also the fastest job. The bounty hunting, kill the animals mission has potentially some more pay because it's a pay per head you bring in.
Okay. So, and she's gonna flip out the little kickstand on her glow and sit it down. Okay, and she's gonna double click on option 1. Option number 1. We are bounty hunting for monsters that are fucking with this farmer stuff. It's pay per head. So opportunity for moving up within the company, as it were. But if you get bored, you can just be like, fuck it, you're on your own. Option number 2. Affectionately known as the babysitting gig. It is an escort for some Solace merchants doing a typical pick-me-up rendezvous. They just need an escort to get from A to B. Seems like pretty cut and dry, fastest thing. Get in, get out, get paid. But, and this one double clicks the Mystery Underground Bodyguard Science Expedition, and says this one has the most adventure. But it honestly looks like it's gonna suck our bones dry on time because it's an open-ended. I'm gonna see right there, open-ended. So if we're in it, we're gotta be in it. We can't just like be like, hey, I left my dog on fire and then just like leave. So team vote.
Who is the escort mission from? Can you tell?
I gotta ask the paperboy to trace it to be more specific, but from what I can see, it's pretty vague, honestly, and a little cryptic. It says a science exhibition. No, it was asking about that. Oh, the escort. So sorry about the escort. Yeah, it's just some Solace merchants, just some pretty cut and dry stuff. As you can see, I am under the siren spell of the unknown task.
It does sound like you have a preference.
I don't want to do that one at all. It just sounds like the most fun and the most likely to get us killed.
Everybody loves the escort mission.
I mean,
That's true.
if I'm going to voice my opinion, that escort babysitting job you were talking about for the merchants, what was it? Did you say they were transporting food?
Yeah, so B actually recognizes this is a merchant that she's worked with before. It goes by Zeke. Zeke typically has dry goods, canned supplies, shelf-stable supplies, and this is a job just to run an order out to a tiny little settlement out in the middle of nowhere, and it's basically like, I don't want to get ganked while I'm doing this run.
That's a pretty noble one.
That was my thought.
Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory babysitting Bago Dash order, basically. So.
Well, kind of. Zeke's really finicky, and he's always late. And sometimes he'll share his food with you, but I wouldn't count on it.
So you know him?
Quick. Yeah. You know Zeke. He's that shop down, like 3 stalls over by the place that we got cigarettes that one time.
He's so stingy. He overcharges me every time, so I always pay someone else to go in because I get a discount that way.
Exactly.
Ugh. I don't know what his deal is with me, but fuck that guy.
If we wanted quick money, we could do that, but is there a start time that happens with the expedition?
Let me check. I'm gonna pull up the vague details of the expedition.
So they are wanting to leave Solace within the next 3 days. They want to try to get this bodyguard in place first, but they don't want to wait indefinitely before they head out, saying that the ideal big conditions will escape them if they wait much longer.
We're flexible Fritos on that one, because it's got like a 3-day. Hey, I don't know, Mox. Keep your mouth shut. 3 days. They want to leave. So if we can get this other shit done, I mean, we could probably get a pretty nice bankroll if you're feeling it. But I'd say start with your buddy Zeke. I mean, you guys are cool, right?
He and I got in a shouting match last time, but I think we're cool.
As long as you won, it's fine.
Oh, wow. I usually win or cry. I don't think I cried that time.
What
Well-
gets our standing up higher, faster?
Fuck. Not any of these jobs.
Oh, balls.
So what if we do as many jobs as we can quickly? Does that help our standing go up, or is it literally just like the job that we take that will just help us jump?
Oh, I'm sure one of these is better than the other. I'm just being negative about it all because this stuff is small potatoes compared to what I used to do. Man, I'm getting over it. And is going to pull up those 3 jobs and look at which one can help the most.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
So the protection gig for the excavation would have the highest improvement to your reputation because it is potentially the most involved. Because there's not a specific end date. It has a pretty high paycheck to start with. The escort mission for Zeke's food run is the lowest because it's literally just driving and driving back. The bounty hunting taxidermy farmer gig is kind of low, but potentially could be higher if like you bring in a whole bunch of them. Basically, your impression is they're just wanting you to take out the herd that is attacking their crop right now. But if you eliminated the threat completely, they might give you a really good customer feedback survey, which would pay off in the long run.
Okay, with this information, she's going to pick the glow up off the table. She's going to take all 3. She's going to tap a couple things on the side, open a slider. She's going to highlight start times, standing increase, and she's going to circle relative details. And then she is going to collage the 3 together in the order in which they are most increasing in standing. And then she's going to sit it on the table. Take a look at that. That's going to be the order that you asked for. Here are the additional details as well as the start times. I think that we can do just about anything we set out to do, whether that's make money, increase standing, or book other jobs with any of these. So take a look and let me know what you think.
Well, looking at these, my first thought is that 2 of them are gambles. The, bodyguard, yeah, looks like it might raise your standing a lot, but let's say it takes a month. What's to say it takes 3 months? How many gigs could we get done in that amount of time? Sometimes the small things add up faster. And this one here with the hunting, maybe the initial infestation is only 3 things and we don't get paid that much. It's a gamble that we find enough to make it worth our while.
It's an investment in your time.
It's a gamble.
Fine, it's a fucking gamble.
Now, I'm willing to gamble with my time, but I'm not going to make that decision for all of you, so just throwing it out there.
This expedition are they from Solace that's doing this, or do they just coming through Solace?
Drall zooms and enhances, digs into the details a little bit. This is a group of independent scientists. So they are not associated with any metroplex or corporation. They are dedicated to this expedition for the sake of scientific discovery. And they came to Solace to get supplies, basically to use it as a staging point before they headed out.
Well, my thing is here to kind of build on some of this. As much as I love escort missions, helping out one of our own, and I say our and the royal we, might have a longer payday in the end.
You're
than
right.
Just going and posting up at some dinosaur dig or something like that,
Zeke's really connected. He talks to all of the other merchants and often recommends people to help with other shit. It would be the easiest way to get into more of the security things for Solace. Just by word of mouth.
I mean, local heroes as we could be, it would be interesting.
Really depends on how close to home we really want to stay.
Galen, you have a thought as we are making this decision here. You remember the map.
Yeah, I was wondering if we were
got.
going to get to that or not.
The
I was sitting there thinking
shortcut.
that thing, yeah.
Yeah, you've got all of this on the Winnebago. You can easily check if any of your safe passage through Dust Jockey territory would be of assistance.
Yeah, I was thinking about some of that. I was actually thinking about that more for the excavation. like are they asking for protection through that sort of piece too? But if it is a run, we could take them through the territories that we now know and save ourselves some time and energy as well.
So you take a look at all of this stuff. The excavation is further south towards Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
The hunting gig is out in the middle of nowhere, kind of to the east of Solace, which is away from Dust Jockey territory. The escort mission for Zeke's shipment is a little bit to the north. And here you see that one of the shortcuts that the dust jockeys use would easily shave a day of travel off of the normal route.
So, in kind of doing the math with some of that too, then Galen's gonna look at everybody and go, listen, as much as I think we'd love to do some scientific experimentation, I don't think it's the kind of science that you all want to be doing. And he looks over at Mox for his dark wave generator. And more importantly, I don't want to go anywhere near fucking Mexico right now because there's a goddamn border war happening. And I don't want to get stuffed up with any of those guerrillas and military units. And so good luck to them on their scientific discovery as far as I'm concerned. In terms of hunting, I'm not exactly the best hunter. It's not my gig. Maybe y'all out here are a little bit more open to that kind of idea, but perhaps if we could use a few of our newfound, we'll call them shipping lanes, that our friends have helped us out with, there's a good chance that we could get through some of this mostly unscathed.
Well, and adding on to that, if I may, what was your friend's name? Zeke? That's the name? If we are able to conduct this transport even faster than and safer than he might have imagined, maybe an extra positive review, assuming with no specifics as to how we managed to get it through so quickly, might end up going a little way in restoring your lost reputation.
Not a bad idea. I just want to know what's going to stop the DJs from taking the stuff that we are shipping through, because we definitely took that transponder off of the Winnebago.
No, we took
We
the
took the trackers off.
tracker and the bugs that you found, but the transponder Galen wanted to leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
We left the thing that's going to keep the flying shit from buzzing the tower.
Okay. Well, I mean,
And I swear to God, if the second time we do an escort mission and they rip us off twice, I swear,
I'm blowing the motherfucker's head
know.
off.
Ain't no
I
bad
don't
time.
exactly trust them for it. They've
On
already
site
shown
at
they'll
that
do it
point.
once.
On
Hey,
site.
no worries. I'll fly 2 birds at them. Then you're gonna see what's coming right into this fucking drone.
Well, all right. I guess that means we're looking at helping Zeke. What do you guys think? Drall? What do you think?
Fuck yeah. She grabs her glow and she 3 clicks the Zeke mission. Done.
Wow, that was quick.
Hey, you remember them posts about getting that bread? That's what we're doing. Dumb shit.
You know, we out here. Maybe not for a long time, but I should go. I
swear to God, are we still using hashtags? Really? That is the most post-apocalyptic aspect of this entire thing. That is the biggest hellscape.
I heard they used to have them on what they had as telephones, which are like the precursor to glows.
I remember those, yeah, I
was
remember
reading
that.
about that, and they used to call it the pound sign. What are you pounding with it?
You don't want to know.
Old
They
ass
never
Zoomers.
called it that.
I like bread, though. Bread's really good.
We love bread.
Yeah, we want
Well,
We're getting bread.
Bread.
yeah, bread club.
Bread club.
Drall, now that you have accepted the job, a message pops up from Zeke. And he's saying, well, thanks for taking the job. Looking to leave tomorrow morning if that works for you.
And she's going to enlarge the message, turn it to be. This your man's early morning or late morning? What are you thinking?
I mean, Zeke spends a lot of time over at the Firefly. I'm pretty sure that means late morning, but you might want to check. Sometimes, again, Zeke's finicky.
For sure. And then I'll just type out, see you at like we're at 11 or something. See at 11? Question mark. Bagels? Question mark.
Bagels.
Response comes back. I'd prefer to leave a little earlier. Some of these, I've got a. I prefer to leave a little bit earlier. There's extra souls in it if I get there on time.
This man
Extra
is
souls?
trying to stay in.
Extra souls? Question? Done. Planned for 9 a.m. Y'all?
All right.
Sure enough.
Yeah.
Who's bringing the coffee?
Fuck, I'll get it.
Thanks.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. It's the least I can do for dicking us on a higher pay. It'll be fine. Guys, it'll be fine. And she puts her hood up, starts walking away a little bit, arms crossed, and you just hear, it'll be fine. It'll
Drall. Drall.
be fine. Yeah.
Drall.
Yeah.
We made the decision together.
Yeah. I
It
just
wasn't
feel
just you.
Thank you.
We
Means a
had
lot
our
to hear
back against the wall.
The fucky wall.
The fuck you wall.
Whole thing.
Mox pops open the bullet-ridden red cooler, pulling out an armful of beers, closes it, sits down on top of it, and starts tossing them out to everyone.
Well, until then, here's to a better job than last time with fewer Freddie Mercury and play.
Cheers to that.
Argos, play queen.
Damn it.
And he starts doing it.
Bad dog.
Been waiting a long time for that.
And the night continues. Everyone has a good time. We will smash cut to the next morning. The Winnebago is idling on the road, and Zeke is pulling up behind you. Zeke has like an old U-Haul kind of truck that he's been using. It's got some armor bolted onto it. It's got some heavy-duty desert tires, sensor package, no weapons to speak of. And it is loaded full, sitting a little bit heavy on the axles. And he pulls up at the meeting point right outside of Solace. There's kind of like a dispatch area in the road. And he pulls up next to the Winnebago. Morning, y'all.
Yep. Morning. You must be Zeke.
Yeah. So looking at the map here, we're probably gonna take about 3 days to get out there. They wanted us to hustle. They said they've been running real low. Some sort of infestation ripped up some of their supplies, so they had to get rid of stuff. That's basically a rush order, you know. So they offered a few extra souls if we got there quick. Still, though, going through the mountains, going through that dangerous territory that's out there, it's going to take us probably 3 days of driving to get there. I don't know why they're so the hell far out there. I mean, it's the middle of nowhere.
Question for you, Zeke.
Huh?
Exactly.
I'm just making sure you've dealt with these people before, yeah?
Oh, absolutely. I know these customers. I vetted them. This isn't any kind of weird gig. It's this little tiny settlement, maybe a half dozen families who thought they could chase some wealth out there in the wastes, make their own little town. And they're stubborn. They're stubborn as hell. They just don't want to give up, you know. You know how it goes.
Can't hate on them for that. I get it.
Well, I'll tell you what. Follow us. We'll keep you through. We know some shortcuts, and we got some ways to get around through it, and we'll beat that 3 days for you. How about it?
That seems unlikely.
I know it don't look like much, and he just kind of slaps the side of the Winnebago. He's like, but you got it where it counts.
Can I pull the group aside really quick?
I feel like maybe we glossed over a little detail in my drunken stupor last night. I take all the blame for it, but we have a transponder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he don't.
He doesn't.
Stay safe. I
Second,
thought we were going to be taking all of the stuff ourselves.
yes, this is a little bit of a different situation. Second, he's gonna see these little pathways here. That's not good, probably from our employer's perspective. So I think 3 days is probably a good estimate, and we should stick to that, probably. If we can get there like 2.5, that'd be great, but I don't know if an extra half day is worth getting.
I mean,
We just put a little nitro behind the wheel, you know what I mean?
I got a thought. Here we go. Dog's big brain right now.
No, I give it to us now.
Everyone buckle in.
Take that dang old transponder and put it on whatever the fuck this vehicle is. Especially if we got to drive it back. Now, if we do that, we've let him know that he can have secure passage through there if he uses our services, and we have continued employment.
So we would have to travel only in his vehicle and not the windy.
I mean, what do you do? What is it? You just plug it in USB? Is it quick? You just
Yeah,
swap
it's
it
a
back
little
forth?
bit of an oversimplification, but let's go with that. Yeah, so
Right, well.
So, Mox, excellent point. Well done. You also
Well done on avoiding my trap.
you also think of another possible solution, which is convincing him not to come.
yeah, there is that. I mean, as long as
So with glows and video to video, like video chat, I assume the distance, it's not like we're going to be out of tower signal there. So we would still have like the face-to-face contact of him with the people there so that they know we're legit.
It would be like going from 5G coverage in the city out to some LTE 3G shit when you're hiking.
Fair.
Can I just
We
say,
can do satellite.
I love that Caleb was like, well, like a big bad evil guy.
You've thought through the plan, Mr. Bond. Very good.
You've beaten my map trap.
B has an idea.
Yes, B.
Totally not because of the god voice in the sky running the game. B takes one of the cigarettes that she still has from her ear, puts it in her mouth, lights it. You know, Mox, I've done deliveries for Zeke before. I could maybe convince Zeke to stay behind. I think the only reason why he's coming along is because he's checking on either family or he doesn't trust you guys.
either way is fair. I think if you can convince him to stay here, one of us or a couple of us can take over driving that, then that seems the best solution. If he insists on coming, we can't use those pathways though.
Okay. Can I practice really quick with you guys. This is nerve
Oh, lay it on me. All right.
Okay.
Pretend I'm Zeke. Okay.
Meanwhile, Zeke is just hanging out of his truck like, what the hell is going on?
Is it a trailer that he's pulling, or is it just like a delivery truck?
No, it's like a U-Haul. It's like one of the old U-Hauls with the over the cabin. What did they call that? Grandma's shelf or some shit.
Grandma's
It's one of
attic.
those. Grandma's attic. There it is. So he's like, well, I guess I'll just stretch my legs. And he's like, leaning. I don't know what's going on.
I look over my shoulder at Zeke like, okay.
We're taking a knee over here.
Game plan. Best service you're gonna get.
Whatever. Take your time.
Okay, guys. Here it is. Hey, Zeke. So, we were
Great
thinking-
start. You're doing great so far.
Thank you. So we were thinking we could actually cut down the time of delivery for you if we had you stay at home. It will make all of the vehicles, 1, more aerodynamic, 2, we don't have to worry about, doing shifts where we sleep because we can all just swap off. We're really, really good at that and we have practice. And 3, that also means you can run your shop and not have to worry about going out to the sticks.
Oh my goodness, B, you are brilliant, and I think you deserve extra pay for saving me so much difficulty.
Do you think that he's gonna catch that I called him a little heavy for the vehicles? Should I cut that part?
Just
I mean, read the room. Read
yeah.
it. Read it in the moment.
Okay. Right. All right. All right, guys. Game plan? We good?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go try it now.
All right.
Okay. B walks over to the truck. Hey Zeke, how's it going? How are the pets? How's your partner? I got a question.
So Zeke is leaning up against the truck. He's got a cigarette dangling out of his mouth, just kind of wasting time. He didn't see B originally. So you see some surprise, like, oh, you're with this crew. Okay. Do you think the last time B and Zeke had a run-in, do you think that was good or bad?
I mean, we had a shouting match, and sometimes I do really well and I win.
That's true.
Sometimes I cry, and I don't remember if I cried last time, but we're usually pretty good.
All right. Here's what we're gonna do. First off, I want you to give me an even or odds on how the last interaction with Zeke went. You call it.
Evens.
Okay, so when Zeke sees you, you can see his body language shift a little bit negatively. And he's like, oh, hey, B. Oh, B. Look, I told you that pallet of beer was not broken when I dropped it off at Ferdy's. I don't care what you say, it was not broken.
And
Guys, it looks like this going great so far.
But bygones are bygones. Family's fine. Jimmy's fine. I didn't know you were with this crew. I thought you were normally just hanging out, working.
Well, hey, I honestly don't remember the beer. I probably drank some after I found some of the broken bottles, but it honestly could have been me too.
They weren't.
I'm just telling you.
Okay.
It's okay. Bygones are bygones. And I'm so glad to hear about Jimmy. I found a new crew. We're trying to get some stuff done. Wanted to start doing some good missions. We really love Solace. And
Good place to live.
we thought that we would start by helping out some of the folks here, just like you. You know I'm good for it. I've been running for Ferdy. I've done runs for you too.
Furry's a peach. They always take care of us.
And I'm always happy to put in a good word with Ferdy for you, too, just in case, something that doesn't happens in the future. I have a question for you.
Right. Lay it on me.
A proposition, at least.
Probably.
So, me and my crew were thinking, especially because of how well we work together, that we could probably cut down your delivery time if we had you stay here. That way you could run your business and make money while we're gone, and you don't have to worry about any of the shipment, and we'll go really, really, really fast without you.
Takes a long drag. So you're saying you and your friends who I don't know want to take my supplies, my shipment for my store without me to check it and keep it safe. And you're just going to deliver it faster than if I was with you. That feels suspicious.
I am happy to provide confirmation as soon as we reach the place, and also make sure that if you need to pick up anything from over there, we can bring it back post haste. I'm just letting you know, my crew and I, they are my friends, but we're also a crew. We're professionals at this, and we're a well-oiled machine. And I do think that we would do a very good job, and our work would speak for ourselves. So I think you should consider it, especially since I could also hook you up with some stuff at Ferdy's.
Let's do a persuasion check.
I was wondering when that was going to happen.
While she's rolling, quick question. Can we hear this from where we are?
Oh, absolutely. This is just like right next to the Winnebago.
I'm just picturing several of us behind her being like this, like the whole time she's doing it.
Are you behind Zeke giving her the encouragement?
Yes.
So he can't see you?
Yes.
I love it. Yeah.
I appreciate it, guys. This is so stressful. I got a 19.
All right. Zeke at the beginning feels, you can tell from his body language, he is not buying this at all. But B keeps going. You can tell that the promise of some hookup with Ferdy sweetens the deal. He kind of locks in on the, well, I could be here working instead of closing my shop. Okay. You see him kind of connecting the dots. Well, all right. I'm not comfortable. I don't like this. This is my goods, my supplies. I'm worried.
I know it's your babies. I get it. And we will treat all of this like your babies.
I could offer you some collateral.
What do you mean?
Well, something that you can hold on to.
Yes, I know what collateral is.
Why'd you ask what I meant if you knew what it meant?
Like, what do you mean is the collateral? What are you offering?
See, that's a different... Oh, I'll go.
Are you
And-
sure, Mox?
No, but neither are thee. So that puts us in the same situation.
I have stuff at my house I can offer as collateral. It's Argos. Who's gonna play the music?
I mean, if you don't need the collateral, I'd love to keep my pup with me, but if that's what it takes for you to trust us.
That's a cool dog.
Yeah, you're damn right he's a cool... sorry.
But that's like it's like a sacred bond. I wouldn't leave my dog with a stranger.
Zeke, I
Good.
think
I'll keep them with me.
Yeah, I don't want to mess. You don't mess with dogs. You don't mess with dogs, man. You know all those old movies? You don't mess with the dogs.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't gonna
the-
give you to
the-
him. It was this with all bluster. Don't look at me like that.
The fact that you would offer to leave your dog with me worries me actually more. Because why would you just give up your dog? That makes me think you're the bad guy in the movie.
No, he's doing baby for baby.
This is why I don't try to do too many nice things. You see?
That's how confident we are, is that we're gonna give you a dog just in case.
I feel like we're getting off track. I'm hesitant, but I'm okay with it. I'm worried though, so we got to stay in contact. I want updates. I want to know where you are.
Like a picture every 10 minutes or like.
That's just excessive.
I was wondering how deep this level went.
I'm going to be busy in the store, as B pointed out. So let's
I'll tell you what, why don't we give you an update at the end of every day just to tell you where we're at.
Okay.
Give you a sit rep. When we stop for the night, we'll just give you a little heads
That's
up.
professional.
Yeah.
That's professional. I like that. Use fancy professional words. That makes me feel good. Thank you. Yes. Okay.
You have my number too if you need anything and you can't get a hold of us through any other avenues. So.
Okay. All right. All right. This is a risk, but if it gets done faster and I can keep working and Ferdy helps me out on the back end, I think we can all profit from this. All right.
I risk,
Let's
I reward.
go ahead.
Keys?
Tosses them to you.
Thank you. I'll call Ferdy on the way out.
All right. And Zeke sits there like he walks away, but he doesn't leave. Like he wants to stay there and watch you drive away.
Who's going to be driving this one? Mox says Mox is a decent driver. Not a great driver, like some people, but a decent driver.
I have quite a few points in driving as well.
Take it away.
Yeah.
Why don't we both drive the U-Haul box truck? It's gonna be a long drive. We can share cigarettes, have Argos play music.
See no downside.
Okay. So as we're pulling out, then B is going to accidentally throw it into reverse as soon as we start the convoy.
So
Correct it, and then continue on forward.
You hear Zeke, oh, what the hell?
I'm gonna honk the horn, wave out the window like, have a good day,
you give him a thumbs up out the window.
everything's good, don't worry.
So once they start to take off, I kind of do one of those run, jump, skips up into the part of the Winnebago, close the door as I go through. It's like, all right, boys and girls, down the yellow brick road we go. Wah.
All right. So this convoy of two vehicles pulls out of Solace. You see the lights in the rear view. And you're driving. It's early. It's early morning when you set out. And it's not slow going. It's just kind of boring. You pass other smaller vehicles. These are not any of the major industrial corp-held super highways that the drone-driven or like drone-piloted massive 20-car train shipping beasts are driving on. These are small roads. They're paved, but you know, the desert eats up roads real quick, so it's bumpy. You get to a point where Zeke's path, the regular road, would take you kind of off, but given the map you have through dust jockey territory. You take a different route. You drive for a little bit. You immediately notice that this road is actually clearer and smoother. That's one of the reasons it's faster, because the dust jockeys have actually maintained the roads in their territories. There are a handful of times where you see on the horizon some dust jockey activity, and it just goes past you. There's a couple times where a patrol of maybe 6 armored motorcycles pulls up beside you. You can see a ping on your transponder, which the transponder automatically returns the security go code, and you see them like give you the wave and they keep going.
Yeah, I was gonna say, out the window, I kind of lean one trucker shoulder out and just kind of give him one of these. I'll do that camera, one of these as we go along too. You know, like trying to. Galen knows everything's not cool, so he's trying to be a little overly friendly.
Yeah. This part of the desert is relatively flat, so you've got a long view to the horizon. You do see, kind of out in the middle of nowhere, some small buildings here and there. Since you know that this is dust jockey territory, maybe they're just little armor stations or way stations, but you're moving pretty fast, so you don't really stop to look at them. You're not sure if they have anything to do with the facility or not. And it gets to nighttime. You've got a whole day. It's burned down. It is probably 10, 11 at night. This has been a long day on the road. And you just
Are we still in DJ territory when it becomes night?
Yes. Basically, if we think of it like the route that Zeke would have taken, the regular route would have been like way out and a big loop around. There's a little mountain range, and you're just barreling a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're still solidly in territory.
So in theory, we're safe.
Yeah.
Kind of turns around as we're getting a little late. I get on the horn with the convoy, and sort of ask if we're ready to make camp for the night, or what we want to do, or if we just want to drive on through.
Mox in the other, like, one window rolled down, cigarette and robotic arm hanging out one side, gets the ping from the glow and just looks over to B.
Your call, boss. You still feeling fresh? You need a rest?
I mean, we both done shifts. How much time have we knocked off of this? I can't tell. I'm so confused about where we are right now.
It's been about 12 hours or so.
How?
Not counting that little break when everyone had to piss at the same time.
Yeah.
It was real awkward for a minute.
It's just efficient.
Everything. I know. Can you ask how much longer we have to go? Because I don't want to stop if we have like over 2/3 to go.
Let me call and check him. B would like to know how much further we have in total, given this new time estimate with our routes.
Galen's going to be looking at the maps during all this, since he's got the bigger display on all of this. Doing roughly about a 15 on the die to study the maps for his survival.
Oh, yeah. You've got another... probably 15 hours.
Yeah, so we are only going to knock a day off, basically. We're going to run a day and a half. Yeah, we should probably break down for the night. We still got a good ways to go. Probably no better place to do it than around here.
All I think we're pulling off.
Let's get it. Get some sleep.
All right. Do y'all camp out or do you sleep in the Winnebago?
I'd imagine in the Bago, right?
Yeah.
And some things out there, I would imagine. We also had a courier die earlier because of that shit.
There's plenty of places if you want to just. There's a couple of free seats up front. You can always tear down the little dinette area. You know, all that kind of stuff. You know, it's a queen bed in the back if, you know, anybody wants to jack up, I guess.
I'm happy to cuddle with anybody who needs it. Just make sure you're wearing clothes, please.
All
I
right.
know, Drall, I know.
Hey, B, before we leave the truck here unattended, you're better with the mechanics than I am. Is there any way you could make it so no one else could possibly start the ignition? You know, kind of hot wire prevention, take out anything in there to make it so it won't go until you put it back in? Call me paranoid, but I'm paranoid.
Absolutely. Just please make sure in the morning to remind me to put it back.
Sounds like a deal.
Okay.
All right, you can do that without any check. That's a normal thing.
Cool.
Well, normal in the sense that you've hotwired cars before, so you know how to do the reverse.
Mm-hmm.
All
And
right,
make it look like it's not happened.
exactly. Okay, so you have some dinner, you relax a little bit, you stretch from driving all day. Everyone cozies up in the Winnebago. Here's what I want from everybody. I want I'm going to call this a passive perception. So just give me a 10 plus your perception modifier.
Galen's got an 11.
15. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at Drall's character sheet. I was wondering why that was so high.
10 or
12.
13.
12.
Just what it is without rolling anything.
Yeah, 10 plus what the modifier is.
Okay, it's 15.
What did you have, dog?
13.
B?
12.
12. Sorry. I got everything mixed up. Okay. So it is 1 a.m. and Drall. You hear a noise. You're not sure if this is just a noise in the Winnebago, if this is just kind of desert animals, but it brings you awake enough that you're paying attention to it. You hear on the right side of the Winnebago, like something scratching along the wall, and then it stops. And then on the other side of the Winnebago, feels like something's dragging along the body on the outside.
So at the first scratch, she's gonna reach whoever is in arm's reach. Gently shove. When the other one happens, gently shove.
Ah. What? Sorry. What? The DJ's up.
There's some shit out there.
What do you think it is?
Fucking no, but I don't like it. It's playing with us. It's on both sides.
Okay.
haven't heard anything yet, B.
Are you? I was having weird dreams, so I'm not gonna question. I think we just go and both look out the windows. Be quiet.
Oh, I'll go to school.
And just... I don't think he's awake. But whatever we need to do, we need to check and see it quick.
Okay.
So that we can wake everybody else up.
You go that side, I'll go this side.
Okay.
So you're looking on opposite sides of the Winnebago, like out the window?
Yeah.
All right.
Sneaky.
Drall, you're looking around. It's dark out there, so you're kind of like, you got your hands to the glass. You're not sure. You don't see anything. B, you're doing the same thing. And then suddenly, a face slams against the window in front of you, B. It is a huge, massive skull, a bestial skeleton with some sort of horns extending from the back of its head like antlers of a stag. And black, inky black, broken nails scrape across the glass in front of your face.
Be... Instead of screaming, which I personally would do, B is going to slowly move away from the window, make sure that the curtain is still covering everything. Turn to Drall. Gee, don't look out there. But do you remember the surveillance stuff for the Bago? Because we need to get on that right now. There's some otherworldly shit out there, and I think we need to wake up Dog, because he might know something about this. I've never seen this shit. I don't remember reading about this shit. I've never watched anything about this shit. And there's something awful outside.
As you are saying this, the Winnebago starts to shake. Like something is pushing on it.
Wake up!
And that's where we'll end it.
Always fucking...
Wendigo. Come on, Wendigo.
Stop saying the name. It's going to make it more powerful.
I said it 3 times. It's the Beetlejuice logic.
Not Mr. Nanos in the desert. Ah!
So we will leave our intrepid crew here at the end of episode 7. Thank you in the chat. Thank you, future audience, for watching. Tune in next week, the 10th of October, for Chaos Incorporated. And the week after that, we'll see what happens with these folks and the thing outside the Winnebago.
Swap this cry and piss our pants.
That's always step 1.
Step 1. All right, let's have our so longs here. Check in with our crew and where they can be found on the internets and what they're doing, starting with Mallo.
Hi, if you would like to see more of the things that I do, both for Identico and for a new thing that I will be announcing soon. Check it out at the Mallo Man everywhere. I mean, I'm literally everywhere. It's trademarked at this point, so check it out. And also, if you are in the Dayton, Ohio area, or even in, I don't know how big Ohio is, but just fuck it, all parts of Ohio, come to Dayton for a Catacon so I can see you there in the flesh. I will have a booth. We will have tables. We're going to do some crazy stuff that we haven't fully fleshed out yet, but Caleb and I are working on it behind the scenes. So it's going to be a good time. So join us for Catacon November 3rd through 5th in Dayton is our next live appearance. So, and then, yeah, come check us out.
Wild.
Yes, hello. You will find me on my couch and or in my warehouse or online at Wildling011. And yeah, I will be cheering on the Mallo Man because a Catacon is coming soon. Wink.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Pete.
Oh, hey. Yeah, you can find me online. I recently got into photography, and I have a project coming up. You can find me at the Mallo Man on all platforms, and follow me and get a good look at some photography that I'm not gonna say is mine.
You can tell we're
There you go.
online a lot.
And a
Lauren.
catacon do it.
Was that me?
Yeah.
That was you. That was you.
I can be found online. Good luck and Godspeed.
It's a puzzle. It's a puzzle. We don't know where.
Find
It's
her
like,
at
where's-
95%, Lauren.
Or
will
where's
promote
Waldo?
for you.
Only better.
Giving away all my secrets. Yeah, I'm 95% Lauren.
Don't
Enjoy.
spoil it. All right, Ethan, bring us home.
You can find me and Lauren's cosplay side at Thousand Faces Cosplay pretty much everywhere. Our TikTok is almost exclusively D&D content, so if you want D&D tips, tricks, chat, all of that, check out there. If you want to see our cosplay, Thousand Faces Cosplay, Instagram, Facebook, all those places.
And I am on the socials at the Caleb G. You can find me right here for Chaos Incorporated, here and there for Farm to Fable, and taking up a lot of space in the archives of the RPG Academy. As Mallo pointed out, Catacon 2023, Dayton, Ohio, the 3rd through the 5th of November. Tickets and event registration are live on tabletop.events. You can also buy tickets at the door in November. So come hang out. We got a lot of fun events, and it's going to be a great time. That is it for today. We will see you next week. Same cyber time, same cyber station. Good night. Take care of yourself. We love you. Drink water, eat food, take meds. Be nice to yourself. You deserve it. And we'll see you next time.
We love you. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Neon Trails is Ethan as Mox, Lauren as Drall, Pete as Dog, Wild as Bee, me, Mallo, as Galen, and the Caleb G is our game runner. You can learn more about the game we play on this podcast by going to www.playidentico.com. You can join us live for these sessions every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific over on twitch.tv/Identico. And you can watch along with past episodes and see additional content like how to play videos over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Identico. Finally, you can follow along with us on the socials at Identico on Twitter and at Humanoid Games on Threads and Instagram. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next week.